Today, we're going to talk about the weather or something. I don't know. We're going to talk about something. I've been kind of thinking about the weather. I guess not really the weather, more just the season. It's just been hot lately. It's not really much weather to talk about. I guess if you consider windy a weather, but even then, it's not really been very windy. It's just been hot. Very, very hot. But I suppose that's the summer for you. I used to love it. I used to love the summer. Not so much the heat. Heat is whatever. I think I prefer to be cold over hot. Like I'd rather be cold and warm myself up, snuggle up in blankets or something than being too hot and trying to make yourself cold. I feel like it's most times it's just easier to warm yourself up than it is to cool yourself off, in my opinion or experience. But anyway, it's been really hot lately because it's the summer and it always heats up in the summer, At least where I live, it's, normal weather stuff, I guess, or normal season changing stuff, I guess. But I just I don't really like it very much anymore. The summer in general, not really the heat. As I said, I don't really like the heat anyway, but anyways, you know, repeating myself. Point being, I don't really care for the summer anymore. I used to love it. I used to love the summer. I think my favorite season is always going to be fall. Just ever since I was a kid, and probably kind of biased because my birthday's in the fall, so like obviously it's my favorite season if my birthday's in it, which doesn't really matter anymore now that I'm older. Not really like anything super important like it was when I was a kid. I guess that's not really true. Even when I was a kid, it didn't really matter that much. I mean, to an extent, sure, it's your birthday, it's your special day, you get gifts or whatever, but I don't know, it never really mattered to me much. Just now it's even less so. It's just another year older. Whoop-de-doo. But the summer used to be awesome. The summer used to be great. It was, warm. Sun was out all the time. Days were longer because daylight savings and all that jazz that I don't know enough about. It was good times. It was a good time when the weather started to get better. You knew summer was coming. It was getting hotter. Days were getting longer, like I just said, and meant school was gonna be over soon. I was still in school, and that was the best part of the summer. I think that was always the best part. Is no more school. School's out. Summer's here. I gotta just do whatever I want every day, all night, all day. Doesn't matter. Nobody can tell me when to go to bed and tell me what to do. Just not really true. My parents still tried to keep me on a healthy routine, but you know, it is what it is. It's the summertime. You're gonna want to stay up and hang out and do whatever you want. It's the summer. It's your time to be free, or I guess was. So I'm thinking about when I was in school still, when I was young, I was a little kid. Well, not even little, but I guess quite a quite a lot of my life. You spend a lot of your life in school, and well, that's when I loved the summer. Was when I was in school still. Meant that I didn't have to go to school still. I'm really just circling back at the same thing I just talked about. But my point was that now that I'm out of school, summer doesn't really mean anything anymore. Like, yeah, it gets warm and the days still get longer and whatever, but everything else stays the same. I mean, I guess that's really the case for every season. Every season that changes really doesn't change anything with the weather, and that's fine. It's not like, you know, I mean, I'd be great if I worked like a seasonal job or something where the summer comes and boom, I don't have to work anymore. What a miracle that would be. Usually it's more so for the winter, or I suppose for like Halloween, you have like a Halloween pop-up shop comes and you work for the season. I don't really need redstone. I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't work a seasonal job though. So for me, it's rain or shine, sun or snow. You're showing up, you're doing the job. That's just how it goes. And I love to complain about it. I love complaining about my job. It's probably my favorite thing to complain about. I don't really like to complain in general, or maybe that's not true because I complain a lot. I don't. Hey, that's good. Found a diamond. Let's do my old. Younger me would be very disappointed if I broke that right away. But anyways, I don't like to complain much for how often I do it. I some things you just gotta let out. You just gotta open it up or whatever you want to call it, really. Sometimes you just can't keep it in. And I guess in some cases that's more venting than it is complaining, but I tend to feel like I'm doing one if I'm doing the other. Like my complaining is venting or my venting is complaining, whatever. I feel like it's a kind of a thin line between one and the other. So I try, excuse me, I try not to complain about much or at all if I can help it, because I just, you know, gotta be grateful for everything. You gotta be appreciative of what you have and where you are and etc. And obviously that doesn't mean like accept the worst and don't say anything. Like you should speak up about things that bother you and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just too quick to go from like this is bothering me to just unnecessary complaining. And I don't know. I'm not really the one to say whether it is or isn't, because if I feel a need to complain about it, then in some aspect or in some capacity, it's necessary complaining to me. But obviously, that's all a matter of perspective, and not everyone's going to see it that way. Some people might just be like, oh, wow, you're really just whiny today, or you're really just bitching today. And I'm guilty of that, you know? There's been times people complain about something to me and I'm just like, well, you just shut up already. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that big of a deal. But to them, obviously it is. It is that deep. It is that big of a deal. It's necessary to complain about. It's bad enough that something needs to be said and something needs to be done, or whatever the case is. There's so many different things you could apply this to. I speak very vaguely, I suppose, for that exact reason, so that you can apply this to many different situations or circumstances, whatever might come to your mind when I say the things I say is probably relevant, is probably, you know, a applicable situation. But I don't really have any specific examples. Work stuff really would be the main one. Like I said, I love complaining about work. There's always something to complain about because there's always something bothering me somewhere, or someone doing something wrong to frustrate me, or whatever the case is. I don't think they do it on purpose to frustrate me, but sure feels like it sometimes. It sure feels like it sometimes. But anyway, the weather. It's hot. It sucks. I do not want to go outside in 100 something degree weather. And at least working nights and working inside indoors, I don't really have to deal with the weather very much. But like, I try to go out and get some sun and like do stuff outside of my room and outside of my little world here at my desk. And it is a hell of a lot harder when it's 100 something degrees outside. And that sounds like a witch. Um, it's 100 something degrees. You go outside, you feel like your skin's melting off, you know? It's not fun. Oh, another diamond. It must be my lucky day. I was really hoping to go find where I died, which I don't think was on recording. I think it happened like right after my last video. I found this great spot with like 2 dungeons or 3 dungeons or something. And then I cut the camera to try to get back to my house, and I lost everything again. So that's why we're back in the caves today. I know I don't really do like intros or anything to explain where we are or what's going on, because I feel like it's more engaging if I just keep going or keep talking about whatever is relevant. Like, in some capacity, this is a story that you're following along. You know, this is a world that I've been building for, I don't know, like a month or something. Granted, I haven't really made any progress whatsoever because every time I open my mouth, I die and lose all my stuff. But I don't like to do stuff off screen, right? I don't like to make any sort of progress off screen or whatever. I like to make sure there's some sort of documentation of everything that happens in this world, just because I'm sure somebody out there is following along and paying attention and seeing all the nonsense that I get into going through here trying to learn how to play Minecraft again. But I just I get really easily sidetracked, so I try to stay focused on whatever topic is at hand rather than talking about the game around me. And so I just kind of go around, do stuff, whatnot. I brought this up for a reason. I mentioned this for a reason, and I don't remember what it was. But, anywho, if you watched the last episode of these Minecraft vlogs, you'll know I was in this same cave somewhere, and I found a bunch of stuff, and then I lost my pickaxe, so I couldn't actually get any of the stuff that I found, and then I died while I was trying to get back home, and I think that part was off camera, I'm pretty sure. And so today, I was hoping to go back and find wherever I died, because I couldn't find it when I went to go look for my stuff. Are you serious? Whoa. Whoa. Hello there. Um, so we're just kind of gonna chill. It's just kind of a casual mining day, I guess, again today. I'd love to go build my house or something. You know, I was gonna collect a bunch of wood and then I was gonna build, and then I died and lost all my everything, and so I don't feel comfortable to go spend my materials to make like an axe to go collect wood because I don't have any materials to replace it, if that makes sense. And I don't have like any coal left either, so I'm really desperate down here and really hoping to make it back out alive. But on the same hand, I was really hoping to find those dungeons again. And I don't know if this is the right direction. I don't think so at all. I think this is the opposite direction. I'm not too sure where I'm going, what I'm doing. We're kind of just here, existing today, much like real life. Just here, just existing, just going about my daily duties as I do, you know? Much like my real life. Rain or shine, sun or snow, I show up, I do my thing, and I go home. You know, much like what I was just talking about earlier with my job. I show up, I do my stuff, and I go home, and, you know, kind of tired of it. I feel like I've talked about this before. Probably a lot. It's like I said before, my main thing to complain about is my job. And like I kind of hate it. I kind of hate complaining. I don't kind of hate complaining. I said that earlier too. I don't like to complain, and I really don't, because especially when I'm making videos, I hate sitting here and just feeling like I'm complaining the whole time, because I feel like I'm like asking for pity or sympathy or something, and like that's not really the case. I just I just talk, and that's usually the first stuff that comes to my mind is work related and how much I dislike my job. And it's really nothing like inherently bad about my job. I mean, I guess there is. I guess it's this weird mix of I don't like my job because of the stuff that I have to do, and it's not that it's hard work or anything, and it's not it's not like I'm being forced to work this job or this type of job. Like this was very much my own choice. This is the work that I wanted to do. I like to stock shelves. I don't know why I'm being so vague about it. Not really trying to be, just speaking broadly in general. I like my job. I like stocking shelves. I'm good at it, I guess. Again, it's not like hard work. It's not hard to be good at. But then again, I've had some interesting coworkers, let's say, that make me wonder how hard my job actually is because of how bad they are at doing it. But I know that my job is not very hard. It's not a very difficult job. Just about anybody could do it, and just about anybody could do it well if they cared enough to, which nobody really does. And I think that's kind of my root of my issue, is that nobody really cares anymore. And I don't blame them. I very much don't blame them. I've come to this realization many, many times, and I've tried to change myself because of it, and I can't seem to. But I come on here and I complain about my job, right? I don't like my job. I don't like working. I don't like any of it, whatever. But I am gonna talk myself up here a little bit. I'm one of the best coworkers at my job. I am very replaceable. I mean, everybody really, like, especially with a job that doesn't require a degree or anything. Like, I think the minimum requirement is you have to be like 18 because you have to work overnights. Don't need an education, don't need a diploma, don't need a degree. You just need to know how to put product on a shelf. And that's fine. That's perfect for me because I barely have a degree. So I definitely don't have a diploma or anything. Or I think I got that reversed. I barely have a diploma, but I don't have a degree. Like I finished high school barely. Um, didn't go to college. So a job with high requirements is not a job that I'm gonna get because I don't meet requirements. Anyways, it doesn't matter how good I am at my job because I get paid the same. I get no sort of extra recognition, and I don't really care. I don't really, sometimes I care. Sometimes it feels good to be recognized for your hard work, but that's not my goal. My goal is when I'm at work to do my work and to go home. And so obviously I like to do my job well, as you should. I think. Well, I guess maybe not, because that's the realization that I've come to, that I'm kind of poking around here, is that like it doesn't matter how well I do my job. I get paid the same. Everyone else gets paid the same. I could do three times as much work as everyone else on my crew, and the only benefit to it is we all get to leave early, you know? And to be honest, as much as that's a benefit, because I love being able to come home early, it's one of my favorite benefits of my job is if we get done early, I get to leave early, and that's awesome. I'd much rather come home at like 4 a.m. than 6 a.m. I think anybody would, for that matter. Just more time to the day, more time to yourself, whatever. But it doesn't, like, in that aspect. Let me try to rephrase this properly. It hurts more to do better, right? Like it's worse for me to do my job better and leave early because that means I'm getting less hours, which means less money on my paycheck. So it's better for me to be worse at my job because it means I get my full hours in, right? And so I'm starting to like come to this realization of like, well, I already don't like my job very much, if at all anymore. It's just it's gone progressively further and further downhill. Like I used to love it. I used to love my job when I first got hired, and for a good while, even after I first got hired, I loved my job. It was a good job. It is a good job. But management changes and lots of my old coworkers have quit and left, and just all sorts of stuff has changed over the years, and it's not the same place it was, you know. I mean, that's expected. That's just life. Life is full of change. Nothing will ever be the same. Nothing will ever stay the same. It's just a part of life. Whatever, that's fine. But my motivation has changed alongside my job, and my will to work and to stay at this job has dwindled so far down from what it was. It is it's in the dirt at this point. Like I don't it takes so much out of me to get myself up and get ready for work every day. Like I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it at all. And I don't really have a choice, you know. I I mean, I do to an extent. I could definitely go get a new job or something, do something else. See, it's moments like this that I'm like, this is why I lose all my stuff all the time. Because why do I see this giant underwater cavern and my first instinct is like, let's go explore. Let's go swim around in it. I'm gonna die trying to get this, aren't I? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not worth it. I mean, it's totally worth it. It's it's so worth it, but it's not. Uh, fighting the temptations. Fighting the temptations. I'm gonna like. There we go. I'm gonna like. Maybe I'll remember someday if I come back. If I ever find this place again, which probably will never happen because my sense of direction is terrible. At least in this game. In Well, no, yeah, honestly, in general, my sense of direction is pretty terrible. But anyway, it's it is what it is, you know. I'll complain and complain and complain, and like I said, there's not much that I can do to change it. I mean, I could, I could go get a new job. I could find something else to do with my time or my life. But I think the problem is that I know at the end of the day, it's not going to change me because I know who I am, and I know that it's not just the work and the change of managers and everything else that I don't like. It's just in general. I don't like work. I don't like having to leave my house and do things. And I don't like to say that because I feel like it's a common problem with this generation, or at least that's how I see it worded all the time, is that people don't want to work anymore. And I get it. Why would you want to? I mean, truthfully, genuinely, honestly, with how out of reach everything is, it really feels like living your life is you're just playing the lottery to make something happen or to make something work out. At least that's how I felt for a long time. Like you look at the housing market or the economy or whatever big adult stuff that I don't pay enough attention to that I probably should, and maybe I wouldn't feel this way if I did. But anyways, all this stuff, all these things, you know, like the dream when you're a kid, or I guess my dream when I was young, is like grow up, get my own place to live, work a job that I don't absolutely despise, you know, start a family or something, whatever. But everything seems so out of reach now in this day and age. Everything seems and feels impossible. It feels like it's just never gonna happen unless you win the lottery or you know, it's just, yeah, win the lottery, I guess, is really the simplest way to put it. Everything feels very out of reach, and it feels like I am just slaving away at my job for nothing. And I know I've said that in other videos before, but I guess that's just what the summer has made me feel, is making me feel very worthless. I feel very worthless this summer. I feel like I am just running up the same treadmill still, running, chasing a carrot on a stick, you know, hoping for something to change, hoping for something to be different or something to happen to make a difference. And it never does. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll figure out a way to make a change to influence this this whatever it is that I'm hoping for, whatever difference or change or upgrade or update or I don't know. I feel like I'm sitting around waiting for something. See, that's I guess where it gets not tricky, but I guess silly maybe is a better word. Is I'm just talking about how I feel like I'm running up this treadmill, constantly chasing something, even if I don't know what it is. I'm chasing something, but at the same time, I feel like I'm just sitting around waiting for something to happen, which I guess they're kind of one and the same, right? If I'm running up a treadmill that's going nowhere, then I am kind of just sitting in the same place waiting for something to happen. So I guess it is kind of, I guess they do kind of correlate or click, make sense with one another. I just don't want to contradict myself. I want to try to make sense once in a while, you know, try to have some sort of meaning amongst all the nonsense that I ramble about for these 10 to 30 to 40 minutes that I make these videos. I don't know. Sorry to kind of draw on blanks here. I just ah, what a day. What a day. My day has barely even started. I still gotta work tonight, but it's been a week and it's only Tuesday. What is going on here? I found an exit. I didn't find any of the stuff I was looking for, which is quite disappointing. But I think we'll just make a little walk back home and use this moment as like a outro type of dealio, because I can't really think of much else to say here. But we're coming out. It's a nice little sunset behind the trees here. And I think I know where my house actually is. And I successfully went mining and didn't die this time. This is progress. This is real progress. I don't actually think I know where my house is, though. Wait a minute. So that ravine is like up on top of this mountain hill thing. Came out to the side of a beach. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of neat. I would love to find my deep, dark dungeon cave place I found, yeah, last time. Almost said yesterday, but that was like probably like a week ago at this point with how inconsistent my schedule has been. But that's the summer for you. I'm lazy. It's hot. I'm tired all the time. Work sucks as always. There's my house. You know, but it's the summer. It's warm. Weather's good. Days are longer. The sun is out. School's out. I think. Should be. It's almost July now. I'm I don't remember when we used to get out of school. Sometimes I felt like it was like late May. Sometimes it felt like late June, early July. I don't know when school ends anymore. I'm sure it's different all over the world. Different days, different times, whatever. But wherever you are, school should hopefully be out. And if it is, that's great news. That is really, really good news because school sucks. I am not a fan. Obviously, if you watched what the in my own home, dude, in my own home, really, really. I just got back home from a long day in the mines, and this is how I'm treated. I get no respect in this house. I get no respect. No respect. It's like when I come home from work in real life and my dog jumps up and like scratches my chest or something. Like I get no respect. Been down in the dirt, slaving away. Now I got an arrow in my side. Is that one in my back too? Jeez. Jeez. No respect in this house. Whatever. Is that a baby zombie I hear too? What is going on here, man? No. Get away. This is my property. And I will kindly ask you to leave. This dude. 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 I'm calling my real estate agent. This is getting ridiculous. Jeez. All these new neighbors. Just the worst. Anyways, thanks for listening to my nonsense today. What the that noise is so terrible. It's gotta be a little, oh, that's a fish. It's gotta be one of those stupid trident throwing zombies that plagued my last world. Just terrible real estate choices all around, honestly. Just terrible real estate all around. Anywho, that's a goodbye from me for today. Maybe for this week, who knows? Maybe I'll be back. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. But I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Have a great summer. I hope school, finals, whatever else you might have going on. If you're in school, if you're not, then, doesn't really matter. Ignore me. Summer, hot, heat, weather, fun. Goodbye. I love you. Thanks for listening.